Today I am in Washington, D.C., in the nation's capital, and I have a craving for Indian food. So my plan is to visit a few places today to get some Indian street food specifically. The first place that I'm going to visit is in fact right across the street. It's called the Bombay Street Food, or more specifically, Bombay Street Food number 3 Express. And they specialize in street foods, Indian street food, and so let's get started. Okay, my first item has arrived, the bhel puri. This is a dish I haven't had in a long time. I can't even remember the last time I had this. Whoa, that's quite good. So the main thing here is the puffed rice with the strands of fried chickpea flour noodles on top. Even before using any of the side condiments, it's already intensely flavorful. I think the reason why it's so intensely flavorful already is because the tamarind chutney, the yogurt, and the cilantro chutney is already mixed in. So basically the condiment on the side is extra, meaning it's already there. And so it's kind of redundant, but wow, this is really flavorful. And not only that, the texture is so crisp. It keeps your palate very involved and interested. In other words, your mouth does not get bored. There's some nuts in here as well to add even more texture to it. Okay, let me just dip it in the sauce and see what happens. Wow. When you dip it in there, it becomes extremely intensely flavorful. Wow. Wow. The tamarind flavor really bursts when you dip it into the tamarind sauce. All right, there's some onions too and tomatoes on the side. Wow. Just the inclusion of those little onions and tomatoes takes it off in a different direction, which is also intensely flavorful. The next item is the pav bhaji, which is a popular street food item in Mumbai and in other parts of India, but it's really associated with Mumbai. It's one of the most popular street items that you can get there. Basically, it's a dinner roll, what looks like a Western-style dinner roll, and you use it to mop up the tomato slurry, tomato curry / slurry that you get with it. So the slurry has tomatoes and other vegetables all mashed up into a very thick kind of slurry. Basically, it's like a sauce. Very rich sauce, a mashed up assortment of tomatoes and other vegetables, and so it has that consistency about it. It's not smooth, it's not totally lumpy, but it's certainly somewhere in that middle ground. For my first bite, I'm just gonna use my spoon rather than to mop it up. I think in India you would use the bun like a utensil and mop it up, mop up the gravy with it. But I'm going to use my spoon. Here it is. Whoa, Wow. That's some flavorful, very flavorful sauce. Wow. Those tomatoes really, really burst. There's a lot of seasoning and spices in this tomato slurry that make it distinctly Indian. So it has a mildly spicy flavor. I can't even begin to identify all the spices that I'm tasting, but it's quite complex. And the bread is very soft and buttery. So this item is already a mashup, pardon the pun, of Western and Indian culinary strands. The bun, probably introduced via British colonization, and the tomato sauce, gravy, slurry is the Indian component. Okay, I'm going to use the mopping technique, and here it is. Wow. Wow. That's good. Okay, I'm approaching the next spot now. I'm in Brookland in DC, in Northeast DC. Not Brooklyn, like the borough in New York City. Brookland, Brookland. It's a neighborhood here in Northeast DC, another quadrant of the city. For those of you unfamiliar with DC, it's a place called Masala Story. Okay, my food has arrived. It's on a nice partitioned tray. I must say that Indian restaurants do a great job with partitioned trays. The food always comes out in nice compartments and easy to eat. So let me just run down what I have. I got the non-vegetarian thali, so it comes with 2 meats and 3 vegetables. So for my meat options, I got the curry goat and the Punjabi chicken. I got 3 vegetables also in the thali, the first of which I forget what it's called in the original language, but it's listed as smoky eggplant also on the menu board. I got the aloo gobi, which is a common and popular cauliflower curry dish, and then something called tadura, which is a kind of gourd, a tiny gourd that is popular in India. And of course it comes with rice and a roti, a Punjabi roti that is made in-house. And, oh, let me not forget, it comes with a condiment also, a yogurt condiment called raita. If I remember correctly, raita is a kind of minty, herbally yogurt that is commonly eaten with rice and meat. I think in India, this thali would be eaten with the roti by hand, ripping the roti and dipping it in the various constituent items. But I'm going to start. I'm going to start with a spoon, just so I get the flavor and the taste of each one. Let me start with the eggplant. Okay, it has the mushy quality that you would associate with eggplant, and it's spiced quite nicely Okay, despite being called smoky eggplant, it's not smoky. It's not like like a southern barbecue. You know, it's something cooked in in a smoker or something like that. It's just really skillfully roasted eggplant is what it is. Very tasty. Okay, let me get some of this aloo gobi. There's potatoes in there too. The aloo gobi is seasoned very well. What I'm really interested in is this turdura, because I've never had that before. It's kind of long and it's cut down into little strands. Whoa. I think there's some tomato in that sauce. Wow, it's quite good. Actually, it's probably my favorite of the three vegetables I've just had. I mean, Indian cuisine uses tomatoes so well. I mean, they come out so tasty as they are integrated with those spices. I can't even begin to identify all the spices involved. You know, I'm just guessing fennel, cardamom, maybe some chilies in there, not a whole lot. It's just complex and tasty. Okay, I'm going to move on to the meat choices now, and I'm going to get some more of the roti. Try the chicken first, the Punjabi chicken. And it's a bone-in piece. The chicken is very tender. I just bit into like an ankle piece, very close to the ankle. So I'm chewing on some cartilage as well. Oh, do you hear that? That's the cartilage. Oh, here's the ankle bone. It's a kind of tomato-based sauce with like ginger and garlic in it. But let me not forget about this yogurt or this raita. So you wouldn't necessarily dunk the saucy meats into the raita, but rather you would put the raita on the rice, which I'm doing now, and then eat the meat on top of the rice with the raita having been applied already. All right, so for my next bite, I'm going to get the raita, the rice, and the chicken. It has a cooling effect. I can see why people eat it with spicy food. Let me move on to the curry goat. Now, curry goat is something I've had a lot of over the years, but mainly at Jamaican places. So this might be the first time I've ever had curry goat at an Indian restaurant. But it's bone-in goat. It's darker though. It is darker than the chicken sauce. I like how some of the meat has fallen off the bone, and so you have strands of meat incorporated into the sauce. It's very similar to the Jamaican curry goat that I've had in the past, but I must confess that I think this is more tender than most of the Jamaican places. I don't think you're supposed to eat the raita straight up like that, but it's good. There's something crunchy. There's like strands of cucumber in there, but it's a nice salty, sour taste to it that's really good. There was something crunchy in the raita. I had accidentally dropped some of the chicken cartilage from the ankle portion of the bone into the raita, and I was munching on it thinking it was part of the raita when I had accidentally dropped the cartilage in there. So no, there is no crunchy bits in there. There's not supposed to be any crunchy bits in there other than the cucumbers. Well, that concludes another episode of Vablonsky. Ooh, I'm quite full from all that Indian food today. What'd you think? Do you have any thoughts about what I ate today? If you do, leave me a comment below in the comments section. And in fact, if you like the content of my channel, please consider subscribing. That would help it to grow. So I would appreciate that. In fact, you know what? I was thinking there's probably a lot more Indian food to show you in Maryland and Virginia. So this might be part 1 in a series on Indian food, which would suit me quite nicely because I like Indian food a lot. But until next time, until the next adventure, this is Vablonsky. Bye-bye.